Hello everyone. Welcome to this episode of Wehry Weekly History and Entertainment News. Winter is truly here and the temperatures are down. As a result, many indoor events are taking place, and it's also a good time to go in museums. On this episode, I'll be talking about exhibits at the Clark Art and Mass MOCA, but also taking a road trip to Springfield, Massachusetts. First, it's time for this episode's trivia question. This episode's question is, how many children's books did Dr. Seuss write in his lifetime? Now, for this episode's local headlines. We start off at the Clark Art Institute, where they will be celebrating a historic anniversary. When the Clark Art opened in 1955, it had 500 drawings and 1,400 prints, totaling 1,900 works of paper. In the past 50 years, 4,000 works on paper have been added, more than double the museum's founding gift. And acquisitions continue apace. While these numerical increases are important, they are only part of the story. What they fail to convey is the change in the collection's character over time. With constant reappraisal over the decades, new dimensions have emerged, building upon Sterling and Francine Clark's original visions. "50 years and forward" works on paper acquisitions marks the 50th anniversary of the Manton Research Center, the home of the works on paper collection, with the selection of prints, drawings, and photographs acquired between 1973 and 2023. Featuring recent acquisitions and other works never shown here before, the acquisition starts from classic territories with which the Clark has long been closely identified, such as early modern drawings and 19th century French art, and shows how those pockets of strength continue to grow in later decades. In a parallel development, the Institute initiated fresh collecting areas such as photography and Japanese prints. Such additions, while hewing to the same standards of quality and art historical significance, have allowed the Clark to fill acknowledged gaps and raise this institutional profile. In this anniversary exhibition, we explore and celebrate the development of the past 50 years. Along with familiar works by Albrecht Dürer, Francis de Goya, Manet, and Mary Cassatt, they will be highlighting lesser-known areas of the collection, including early 20th century art, photographs by Bernice Abbott and Doris Ullman, and important images of and by Black Americans. This will be open until March 24th. Visit the website shown here for more information. Our next story takes us to Mass MOCA for a concert/talk with artist Joanna Hevada. Your Love Is Not Good explores queerly into the cracks between identity and aspiration, between desire and art, and revels in the raining debris. Hedva is a Korean-American writer, artist, and musician who was raised in Los Angeles by a family of witches and now lives in LA and Berlin. Hedva is the author of the essay Sick Woman Theory, which has been translated into 10 languages, the novel On Hell, which was one of Dennis Cooper's favorite books of 2018, and the nonfiction collection Minerva, The Miscarriage of the Brain. Her albums include The Sun and the Moon and Black Moon Lilith in Pisces in the 4th house. The talk will be going on February 23rd and the concert on February 24th. Visit massmoca.org for more information. Now, for an interesting story in Great Barrington from the Guthrie Center. George Lay, founder of the Instrument Loan Program at Guthrie Center, was inspired to create the Check It Out Musical Instrument Loan Library after taking a stroll down memory lane. As the former director of the Guthrie Center and now the founding director of Check It Out, Lay is no stranger to helping people and serving the community. He said access to music and instruments often comes secondary, as many folks are just trying to get by. Lay started stockpiling these instruments. He started getting the word out that he was looking for stringed instruments and percussion instruments. The Guthrie Center had some electric keyboards to add to the mix. Lay said that he felt that he and others at the Guthrie Center had enough knowledge to get these instruments playable. He noted that this expertise did not go as far as wind instruments, but hoped one day to be able to lend woodwind and brass instruments. He said the loaning had begun informally last year with people they knew. Not only was the program aimed at new musicians, but more experienced musicians who needed some gear. The early program was also a benefit to working musicians. Often, instruments need repairs, which can mean lengthy stays in the shop. This leaves many musicians without an instrument, which can be troublesome if a gig is fast approaching. A half dozen or so instruments have been borrowed since the Check It Out grand opening. All of them have been borrowed by adults looking to learn how to play or get back into playing. Check It Out, the musical instrument lending library, is located inside the Guthrie Center at 2 Van Duzenville Road in Great Barrington. It is open every Wednesday from 3 to 6 p.m. It is also open the first Sunday of each month from 2 to 5 p.m. and the second Tuesday of each month from 3 to 6 p.m. Pittsfield Public Schools, or PPS, announced a new and district-wide Arts Integration, AI, and Community Partnerships, CP, program. In his first year of office, Pittsfield Public Schools Superintendent Joseph Curtis envisioned a district-wide arts integration program that would provide the district's roughly 5,000 students and 500 faculty with equitable and embedded access to Berkshire County's vast cultural resource in alignment with the Pittsfield Public Schools, District Improvement Plan, and Advancing Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Plan, while simultaneously targeting grade-level Common Core standards and social-emotional learning. Yvette Jamuna Surker, Masters of Fine Arts, District Coordinator for Arts Integration and Community Partnerships, and a former Berkshire Community College professor, was tasked with designing and administering a program that, within a few short years, includes partnerships with 38 Berkshire County educational and cultural institutions, including Barrington Stage Company, Berkshire Pulse, Berkshire Athenaeum, Shakespeare and Company, WAM Theater, Jacob's Pillow, Mass MOCA, and more. In an interview with iBerkshires.com, Surker said, quote, "The quality and quantity of arts integration programming available to PPS by our Berkshire County community partners is unprecedented in the USA, even when compared to major metropolitan areas. Arts integration engages students in a creative process that deeply enhances their ability to comprehend, integrate, and retain core content and standard-based curricula. It provides multiple modes of learning, including the principles of multiple intelligences, to foster imagination, creativity, and personal interpretation of topics and ideas," end quote. Our next stop takes us to Tanglewood for an update on James Taylor's annual concert. James Taylor returns to Tanglewood with his all-star band for performances on Wednesday, July 3rd and Thursday, July 4th at 8 p.m. in the Kuzovitsky Music Shed. This summer marks 50 years since Taylor first performed at Tanglewood on July 30th, 1974. The 2 dates scheduled for this July will bring the total number of Taylor's appearances on the Shed stage to 51, making him one of the most frequent Tanglewood guest performers of all time. The July 4th concert will be followed by a fireworks display over Stockbridge Bowl. Proceeds from the July 4th concert will be donated by Kim and James Taylor to support Tanglewood. Now for some interesting facts about James Taylor. He has been a recording and touring artist for more than 50 years. Over the course of his celebrated songwriting and performing career, he has sold more than 100 million albums, earning gold, platinum, and multi-platinum awards release, since the release of his self-titled debut album in 1968. In 2015, he released Before This World, the first ever #1 album of his career. And his newest album, American Standard, earned him the 2021 Grammy Award for Best Traditional Pop Vocal Album. He has won multiple Grammy Awards, has been inducted into both the Rock and Roll and Songwriters Hall of Fame, and in February 2006, the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences selected him its MusiCares Person of the Year. He was also awarded the Distinguished Chevalier of the Order Arts by the French government, the National Medal for the Arts in 2012, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2015, and received Kennedy Center honors in 2016. Further details are still to be announced. Visit the website shown here for more information. This website is the only website you can purchase the tickets at. If you Google James Taylor Tanglewood Tickets 2024 and go to a website different than the one listed, it is a scam. With winter vacation coming soon, now is a good time to go on a road trip. This episode's trip is interesting because in Springfield, Massachusetts, you can visit 5 museums for the price of 1. These 5 museums are located within a block from each other and are good for a variety of interests. The first is the George Walter Vincent Smith Art Museum. This was the first museum in the city of Springfield. It holds collections of artwork from both Smith and his wife, Bella Townsley, who collected art from Italians, most notably. Next, the Springfield Science Museum offers the chance to see dinosaurs, fish fossils, and a live aquatic center. Interesting fact, this used to be Springfield City Hall before it was transformed into a museum in 1899. Next, the Michelle and Donald D'Amore Museum of Fine Arts includes a comprehensive collection of American and European paintings, prints, watercolors, and sculptures, as well as a large collection of Japanese prints and representative examples of drawing, furniture, metalwork, textiles, glass, and ceramics. Afterwards, you can visit the Lyman and Marywood Museum of Springfield History. This is known for its local research facilities, diverse educational offerings, and the largest collection of Indian motorcycles in the world. Finally, the last trip is to the amazing world of Dr. Seuss, the newest museum of the bunch. This museum features family-friendly, interactive examples to Springfield's famous native son, and gives a history behind Dr. Seuss's, whose real name was Theodore Geisel's, creative mindset throughout his many classic novels. All of the museums are located on Edward Street in Springfield, which is about 1.5 hours away from Berkshire County. The hours of all the museums are Tuesdays through Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sundays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tickets can be purchased online at springfieldmuseums.org. When purchasing tickets online, you must select a time to enter the Dr. Seuss Museum in order to complete the transaction. However, you are not required to actually visit it. All of the other museums are covered under general admissions and are not timed. Masks, proof of vaccine, and IDs are required at all times. Some parts of museums have capacity limits. They are reinstalling those. Visit springfieldmuseums.org for more information. Dr. Seuss also provides the answer to this episode's trivia question. As a reminder, this episode's question was, how many children's books did Dr. Seuss write in his lifetime? The answer is 45. Seuss was a prolific children's author born in Springfield, Massachusetts. Some of his most famous works include The Cat in the Hat, One Fish, Two Fish, and Have You Seen My Hat? I was a huge reader of Dr. Seuss when I was a kid, and it caused my love of books that continue to this day. It's now time for this episode's movie portion of WWHEN. This episode will be reviewing last year's The Equalizer 3. This is the third movie in the popular film series. Following the events of the previous film, Robert McCall, now a retired assassin, begins to live a new life in Italy. As he finds himself at home, he discovers that his new friends are under the control of the local crime bosses. He soon ends up in the crosshairs of the mafia. So, what did I think of this movie? It's a very solid action film. No flash or frills here. The action scenes are good and it's very fast-paced. Can get a little violent, hence the R rating. However, I like this film way more than I liked others that have more pizzazz. It's what I like to call a meat and potatoes film. No flash, no frills, just a simple action movie. It also has some neat references for the older movies for fans. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, I give this movie an 8.5. By the way, watch the first 2 Equalizers before seeing this one. Otherwise, you may be a little lost. That ends this episode of Wehry Weekly History and Entertainment News. If you would like to watch this or any other WWHEN episode again, you can visit Pittsfield TV's and CTSB TV's websites shown here, or visit NBCTC's Facebook page. Also, if you would like to see the episodes in HD quality, make sure to check out my YouTube page at RT Wehry. Thank you.